Today we're going deep into one of the most iconic horror films of all time, The Exorcist. But we're not just talking about the movie itself, we're uncovering the terrifying and bizarre events that happened behind the scenes. Like, was the set actually cursed? We're talking real-life tragedies, mysterious occurrences, and just an overall eerie vibe that surrounded this whole production. So, get ready because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's get started. Welcome to Screamville. Okay, so picture this. It's early in production, and the set of the McNeil house, where most of the movie takes place, catches fire, like a full-on blaze. Everything gets destroyed, furniture, props, the whole shebang. Except for one room. Can you guess which one? You got it, Reagan's demonic bedroom. The one where all the crazy stuff goes down. I mean, talk about creepy, right? The crew was shook, like genuinely terrified. They even called in a priest to bless the set, hoping to get rid of any bad vibes. I mean, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that room after a fire spared it, would you? So, The Exorcist finally hits theaters. And let me tell you, it was not for the faint of heart. This movie was so intense, so disturbing, that some cinemas actually had to hand out barf bags. Like, imagine going to see a movie and they're handing out barf bags. People were literally getting physically ill from the graphic content. We're talking fainting spells, vomiting, people being carried out of the theater. I mean, can you imagine the chaos? This wasn't just a horror movie, it was a whole experience. It really messed people up. Linda Blair, who played Reagan, absolutely killed it in this movie. Her performance was so convincing, so real, that it sparked a ton of controversy. Like, people were outraged. They accused the film of being blasphemous, of glorifying Satan. Can you believe that? The backlash was so intense that Linda Blair actually needed bodyguards for 6 months after the movie came out. Imagine being a young actress and having to deal with that kind of craziness. It just goes to show how powerful her performance was. Okay, so this is where things get really eerie. During and after the filming of The Exorcist, a total of 9 people connected to the movie died. 9. That's not a coincidence, right? Actors Jack McGowan and Vasiliki Maliaros, who both played characters that die in the movie, passed away soon after filming their scenes. Even Linda Blair's grandfather and Max von Sydow's brother died during production. I mean, that's just too many deaths to ignore. Also, just a few years after the movie's debut in 1977, Paul Bateson, who plays a doctor's assistant, was found guilty of killing movie critic Addison Verrill. And when the movie actually debuted in theaters, viewers frequently reported unexplained phenomena that were genuinely unnerving. The first time The Exorcist was shown on a big screen in Rome, it was at a theater that was sandwiched between 2 churches. On the day of its premiere, there was a severe heavy downpour and lightning storm that unexpectedly occurred. To make the atmosphere even more terrifying, a lightning strike caused one of the ancient crosses, which was 400 years old, to fall in the center of the theater. This unexplainable and unsettling incident convinced many that there was something ominous about this movie. A carpenter working on set lost his thumb, and a lighting technician lost one of his toes. These minor injuries, along with the unexplainable fire, put everyone in a constant unease. The intense media attention and harsh reactions Blair faced as a young actress overwhelmed her, ultimately leading her down a dark and dangerous path of drug addiction. A few years after filming the movie, Blair was arrested at 18, along with 31 others, and charged with conspiracy to commit a felony in connection with an alleged cocaine sale. She was released shortly after on a $2,500 bail, and the case resulted in her being sentenced to 3 years of probation. It really makes you wonder if there was some kind of dark energy surrounding this film. So, get this. The Exorcist wasn't just some made-up story, it was actually inspired by a real-life exorcism. The book by William Peter Blatty, which the movie is based on, drew inspiration from the story of a young boy named Roland Doe who went through a terrifying exorcism in 1949. Like, this actually happened. Apparently, the devil's face appeared on the boy's leg, and it took the voice of Saint Michael to finally cast the demon out. I mean, how crazy is that? It just goes to show that sometimes reality can be even scarier than fiction. You know that super creepy scene where Reagan walks down the stairs like a spider? Well, guess what? That scene was almost cut from the movie. Director William Friedkin wasn't happy with how the wires looked in the stunt, so he decided to remove it. Can you believe it? Thank goodness he came to his senses. It wasn't until later editions of the film that the scene was added back in, this time with the help of CGI. And let's be real, that scene is iconic. It's one of the most memorable moments in the entire movie. Where Ellen Burstyn gets thrown to the floor by the demon? Well, those screams you hear, those weren't just acting. The stuntman actually pulled the wire way harder than he was supposed to, and Ellen landed really badly. Like, she actually injured her spine. And that scream you hear in the movie, that's her real scream of pain. Talk about dedication to the craft. But seriously, that's kind of messed up. You'd think they would have been more careful. Director William Friedkin was known for being, shall we say, a little intense. Like, this guy was really committed to getting a genuine reaction out of his actors. He would do things like fire guns on set, like real guns, or slap actors right before they started filming. I mean, can you imagine? Talk about a stressful work environment. While his methods definitely resulted in some amazing performances, it also caused a lot of tension on set. Ellen Burstyn even called him a maniac. That terrifying voice of the demon, it wasn't Linda Blair, it was actually actress Mercedes McCambridge. And let me tell you, she went to some pretty extreme lengths to get that sound. We're talking swallowing raw eggs, chain smoking, drinking alcohol. She even gave up being sober for the role. And tragically, years later, Mercedes faced her own personal horror when her son took the lives of his family, and then himself. It's a truly heartbreaking story. By the time The Exorcist was released in 1973, audiences were unaccustomed to the shocking violence, gore, and terrifying theme of possession that the movie presented on an otherwise ordinary December night. Reports emerged that some viewers walked out in fear before the film ended, while others fainted outright. One viewer was so overwhelmed by the film's special effects and violent scenes that they fainted, resulting in a broken jaw. This viewer later sued Warner Brothers. But the company offered a settlement to cover the damages and resolved the matter out of court. In the end, everyone involved with the movie paid some sort of price. The cast, the audience, the distributing company, and let's hope not the maker of this video. This movie was way before the days of CGI, so the special effects team had to get really creative. Like, for that iconic head-twisting scene, they used a rubber dummy. And remember all that projectile vomiting? Yeah, that was just pea soup mixed with porridge. I mean, it sounds kind of gross, but it worked. The simplicity of these effects actually added to the film's raw, terrifying atmosphere. It felt real, you know? It's amazing what they could achieve with such limited technology. So, was it a curse or just coincidence? The Exorcist isn't just a film, it's a piece of horror history, made even more haunting by the real-life events that surrounded its production. From the fire that spared Reagan's room to the string of unfortunate deaths, it's easy to see why people thought the set was cursed. But what do you think? Do you believe in curses? Or was it all just a series of eerie coincidences? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more terrifying tales from Screamville. Thanks for watching.